Recording. Okay, so we're recording, and the date is the 27th of February 2025. And welcome to the PyScript FUN meeting. What happens in the PyScript FUN meeting? It's a bit like the water cooler. Yeah, everybody wave. Woo, we're all having so much fun. It's a bit like being at the water cooler and somebody sidles up and goes, "Hey, do you want to see a cool thing?" It's really fun, and so you go back to their desk and they show you their cool thing, and you have a chat about it, and you learn something, or you appreciate their work, or you celebrate their work, and things like that. So there's three of us at the moment around the water cooler, and there may be you at home watching on YouTube as well when I posted this. So I hope you're having fun. We have three in one. We have three fun demos today, all by Web Yoda himself. Andrea. So without further ado, I'm going to get out. Web Yoda, I'm going to get out. No, it's more like that, isn't it, actually? I'm going to get out of the way. And Andrea, have you got your ears, actually? Are they there?
Yeah, I need.
Okay, you
I
know
do
what I'm
have
going to
the
ask
ear.
next, don't you? Come on, this is going to make it even more funnerer. Is if you're...
You want to go first? I come back with the ears.
well, I don't have anything fun to show. And
Yeah.
I've...
So what was the 3+1?
So, no, three in one. You're the one.
Ah,
There's three
okay.
in your...
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So yeah, ears for the next time. And yeah, let's keep it short, quick, and nice. Hopefully. So let me share my screen if I can, and if it works. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
What do you see?
I see PyScript version 2025 2.4, which is the latest version.
Yay!
It's not
That's
not
the
even
fun
6
part.
hours old.
That's the fun part. We released for good reasons. One of the reasons is that we now don't break on iOS anymore. And another one is that Lucas demoed these, and he was stuck on version 2024 something because at some point, for some reason, I'm not sure I fully track that.
Okay, Andrea, you're...
With relative URLs, and right now we work with the relative URLs. It is this lovely demo. It's all runtime generated, and it's great as well as the case. The music is addictive, and I love this demo. I just keep hearing the music.
We can't hear the
And,
music, but it's interfering with your voice, Andrea, so the audio quality has
I'm
suddenly
sorry.
dropped.
So I
No,
was
don't worry.
saying,
Nah, that's better. You switched it off, so yeah.
the music is wonderful. This is lovely. The demo is lovely, and it's all generated at runtime. I can show you what happens. Probably you've seen this before because it was demoed on Tuesday, and now I just say that, but it's not working anymore. Of course. Did I click this button? Okay. Um, so basically, this is a spy preview compiled to WebAssembly, running through Pyodide. And when you click this demo, and when you see this, it's instant. And when you click the demo, you will probably hear in the background the music, and you will see this whole thing animating, which is like a sort of infinite pattern, and it's mesmerizing. And I love all of this demo. And thanks, Lucas, again for providing this one and for helping us to fix the issue. And it's fixed and released.
So we can't hear the music, but you know, ba-dum, 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 bum. Okay, there we go.
Oh, I will. Well, the link is already shared in our Discord.
Yeah.
I might reshare it just for the sake of it. It's said you can't hear it. Next one. Yeah, we demoed these two, or we talked about these two, but now it's official. When you click something and you want to stop it in a PyEditor, we ask if you would like to stop evaluating the code that is running currently at the point, and you can say okay, and the thing runs out again. So the quick reminder is that if we have by accident, this is a explicit while true, but while trues usually are not explicit. It's something that might happen by accident while you're demoing code, testing code, or anything else. And so you see that this is going to print forever. We can click again the stop button. We are where we were before, and we can fix the code with a lovely while false, which does nothing, but we still print the sys version, and that's it. So another exciting thing, not super fun to solve, but it was fun to draw the button and the stop thing. Yeah, last but not least, um, it's true. This is a topic we never discussed enough, because people care about Python obviously more than they care about the JavaScript ecosystem. But in the JavaScript ecosystem, everyone cares about TypeScript. TypeScript is lovely because it helps your IDE to provide types and everything else. It's true that when you handle proxies, so you're asking the foreign interpreter, the foreign world, the foreign environment, it can be the browser, it can be a server, it can be Pyodite, it can be MicroPython. We never know what comes back. So that's the reason basically we heavily use proxies in our project. Proxies and TypeScript don't work very well together. So that's the reason we don't use TypeScript right now. So at least I'm trying to explain why is that. At the same time, every library behind the scene tries to use not TypeScript because it would be for us just a overhead in terms of transpiling code and running code and writing code that it's hard to reason about when it comes to proxies. But when it comes to JavaScript, there is JSDoc, which comes from Java, and it's an old standard. And recently, TypeScript did a lot of effort to improve JSDoc, and so we have a JSDoc TS, which is it stands for TypeScript notation. And whenever I can write JSDoc TS to tell the IDE what's the code about and help eventually contributors or anyone importing our modules to understand what's going on. I do that. And the JS doc, okay, let me JS doc TS TypeScript. I show yeah, JS doc reference. There is a official JS doc reference in the TypeScriptlang.org namespace. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it, and it's all well explained, but there are details that are not mentioned. And I went not to have a simple function where I can define a size and a class. In this case, the class can be uint array or all the array buffers view we have in the JavaScript world. Why that matters? Because we deal with files that they are all buffers, blobs, they are all buffers. And right now I'm trying to understand or investigate um, binary serialization. And so all these things matter when you want to be sure that if you're passing a uint array, you're going to have back a uint array. But in this case, I'm passing an int array, an int32 array, and it's reflected. So the IDE can tell me already what kind of type is that. And I know that while I'm typing and coding and everything. And that's wonderful. What I didn't know, and I just realized today, thanks to a peer of mine, so another developer that helped me out understanding that there is an instance type, which I didn't know, and maybe somebody following this space, watching this video, will understand there is an instance type too, which basically allows you to define whatever constructor it is the returned instance out of the box. So in this case, I'm casting here. This is how we cast in the JS.ts things. I'm casting that the class, which is a type of T constructor, is using a size as a number to create the in this case the int 8 array of length 4 or int 32 array of length 4. And so this is wonderful, and this was the most fun because to have this, I tried to type all the things I could I could imagine to have the same help out of the IDE. And right now, most of my libraries are going to use these more mature JS.ts convention, because when you try to contribute and you import something from JavaScript modules and you have no idea what the something about, how the API look like. And so I can show you that if I do this here, it's already telling me what's going on. So the site is going to be a number and the class is going to be a typed array constructor. What does it mean? I can check the type array constructor in my IDE. Um, and it tells me that is an int a array constructor, uint a array constructor, and all these kind of classes. So this is super cool. This is why I love TypeScript. It's just I don't love the way people usually love TypeScript, because I'm not using it, but I'm using all the things that helps me in my IDE and when I contribute to figure out how to type code faster, what's the signature, what's gonna be the return type, and when I do like int 8 thing, I already have out of the box. I already have all the hints related to what can an int 8 array do with this instance. And this is also the reason we had previously TypeScript. And the reason we dropped it is because the moment we introduced proxies, there was no way to to make TypeScript work with proxies. So this is a bit of a background, fun stories, frustration before finding results or solutions. But that's it. That's all I have to share for today.
What fun! Any questions or comments? I'd just like to say we should make sure that Chris sees this, because it was Chris at Tufts who asked for the stop executing the code, please button for the PyEditor, because some of his students would get their code, because they're beginning Python, into a infinite loop by accident and would have to refresh the whole page, which means they lost their work. So I think that would be a very, very helpful thing for teachers and learners. Go for it.
Guilty as charged. I have the same issue while testing. Sometimes I had like the infinite loop, and I was thinking, oh, well, how do I stop that?
Yeah.
And so it was a great hint, and I think the current solution is, I wouldn't say the best one we can offer in terms of UX, but surely it works well in terms of DX.
I also just want to say uh, I enjoy dynamic languages and duck typing and the kind of I'm going to start sounding like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and elegant weapons from a more civilized time, such as the way Python was built and JavaScript originally. So typed languages I've used a lot in the earlier parts of my career, so C# and Java and things like that. But my brain naturally kind of fits with the more dynamically typed, duck typed languages. And the thing that I'm pointing out, the fun aspect of this, is that it's a sort of, history is cyclical, and it feels like we're in the middle of the typed language cycle, and in perhaps, I don't know, maybe 5 years time, we'll be emerging from that and we'll be coming back to whatever the next kind of dynamic way of doing typing is. So this is going to be interesting. I always enjoy watching these sorts of things unfold, because every time we iterate around a cycle, there's just some new refinement. So Andrea.
It's a huge topic, and we
Yeah.
don't want to cover it all. We cannot cover it all in here.
Yeah.
But the awesome news that TypeScript introduced into the JavaScript world ecosystem, IDEs with the Visual Studio Code and everything, is that can infer out of the box whatever you're doing, meaning that it tells you if your function returns a string, it's gonna tell you, hey, that reference dot.
Yeah.
You type the dot and it tells you all the string things you can do because it's a string. And you hover the reference and it tells you it's a string. So inferring, I think, was the mind-blowing thing that happened recently with TypeScript and with many other programming languages. When it comes to type safety and everything else, um, it's uh, it's a bit of a bummer because when it comes to TypeScript, whenever you compile your code from TypeScript to JavaScript, there's no type safety
Yeah.
anymore in there. So if
Same
you
with Python. Yeah.
type safety is in your IDE, which helps you to develop that thing. But if your inputs come from unknown sources, you have no idea what they're sending to that input. And so type safety is not enough. You still need to test. And if you want to be defensive, you still need to guard your code and all that kind of stuff. At the same time, Python also has types. MicroPython doesn't.
Mm.
Pyodide and or probably does, and Python itself has a way to define types. And I think whatever helps IDEs to help you develop better code or understand what's going on, I think is a huge plus and a huge step
So,
forward from
so
ages ago. And this feels like the right mix
yeah.
of things. So the best of both worlds. You can have types when you want, and you can cast types when you want, and everything else is up to you. You
Mm.
like only types, that's fine. In our case, we cannot do that, and other teams in the world didn't like that because they were fighting against the type system definition. And then also today I learned that somebody wrote entirely out of TypeScript definitions,
Doom.
Doom.
Yes.
They're running, which is the craziest thing I've ever seen. So you
Yeah.
just have a type system and it runs Doom,
Yeah.
and
It's
that's it. So that's why this topic is huge.
I,
But
I,
we
I
can get the best from all worlds.
two things there. Number one, MicroPython does understand. Okay, MicroPython allows you to use type annotations. It just ignores them, which is what Python does. But of course, as you correctly pointed out, it's for the purposes of your IDE rather than the actual interpreter. So you can use type annotations with MicroPython
But
should you wish to.
Node.js does the same these days.
Yeah, yeah,
Node.js is the same. They have this strip types thing. They just ignore it at the engine level, but you can write it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
no, not in browsers.
So
Yeah.
the syntax. Okay, so here's the thing: the syntax of type annotations is is ignored by MicroPython in the appropriate way, but the whole, you know, uh, stuff that you have to import so that you're, annotating with the correct types for whatever. I'm not sure that is supported with MicroPython. And then to go on to Doom, essentially anything that is Turing complete, you could get Doom running on. So yes, I've seen
I,
I've
I haven't
seen
seen the
okay,
test.
okay, the best Doom. Okay, here we go. Here's the fun thing. We can go all around the room to see what everybody's the most fun Doom that they've seen. I'll start, which was during COVID times when there was a chip shortage. People realized that Bluetooth enabled pregnancy tests, they are in fact a thing, contained the microcontrollers that people wanted to be able to run things on. So they would go out and buy all these cheapish, relatively cheap pregnancy tests with Bluetooth enabled, and they had the right chips, and they would then, flash MicroPython on them or write in C and do the things that they wanted on them. But some bright spark actually, uh, that one of these pregnancy tests had a grayscale or a black and white little screen of limited pixelage, but that was enough to get Doom running on a pregnancy test, which I think is just insane. I'll find the link and post it in Discord, but that was pretty amazing. So, Andrea, you've got your hand up next. What's the most insane Doom that you've ever seen?
I know all those Doom things you mentioned.
Mm.
It was insane to see Doom running out of a pregnancy test. But the most insane ever I've seen is Doom running out of organic cells. It takes like one frame every half an hour or something like that. That was the most impressive thing. I will share the link in Discord later on. That was the most impressive thing I've ever seen about running Doom out of living cells, and that was amazing.
Oh my gosh. Uh, any more Doom stories?
I just have the boring one about the access calculator.
Yeah.
It's funny they become a meme, right? It's like, it's great, but can you run Doom on it?
Yes. Exactly.
And it became anything with like a screen can run Doom, like an ATM or anything, right? So yeah.
Sorry, I say cells. It's probably bacteria.
Bacteria. Oh. This sounds like a kind of a plot line for a Netflix B movie sci-fi thing. Every month they seem to release a really rubbish sci-fi movie on Netflix, and this sounds like a great. The bacteria has been programmed. Okay, I can see the link up there. Okay, yeah, we'll share it.
Please, if you have some minute to spare or free time or just curious, have a look. It's It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. They can regroup and change and organize bacteria in a way that plays Doom.
Yeah,
that was like. What?
So here's the thing. April the 1st is coming up. Okay, and we need something for PyScript on April the 1st. And I wonder, could we get Doom working on PyScript? Now, I know there are Python ports of Doom. So in one sense, we could say, yes, of course we could. But, I mean, could we, this is a... Go on. I dread... You've already done it, is what I mean.
Wait, no. You've heard this before. It's never impossible. It's how much time you have to make that possible,
Yeah.
So don't ask me things that will take the team completely off the road. Because
I was going to suggest we have an HTML table of 640 by 480 or whatever it is, and each of the cells in the HTML table is updated to the right background color or something idiotic like
you
that.
You have to run the code. If you can run it in a canvas, you can do what you just said.
Yeah.
You have to run the code if you want to make an HTML version of Doom. I don't think it's possible, to be honest, because HTML is not Turing.
It's not Turing complete. Yes.
I was thinking about a CSS version of it, and probably somebody already did it. So I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Something to think about.
Let's not ruin the surprise. Let's not ruin the surprise for April 1st.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. There's. I don't think there's anything else for folks to show. Fabio, you kind of like. Oh, you have something or not?
I was going to hijack this.
Oh, please do. Come on.
I kind of forgot that we were running the fun thing, and I might have something.
Please show us the fun thing. Absolutely.
All right. Of course, I'm going to have to
learn how to share your screen in Discord.
Yeah, I might have to.
So it should be the picture of the.
I will have to come back.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. You take your time. I'm intrigued. I wonder what fun thing he's brought.
He just disconnected. Was that fun?
No, he has to restart his client for screen sharing because it'll have updated in the background.
All right, that was quick. That was super quick.
Yeah, it was just permissions.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Fabio, the floor's yours, matey.
All right, let's see which one. I have way too many tabs open. That's always the problem.
I've just seen Dan has sent a link in the chat, and I'm so tempted to click on it, but I'm not going to because we're actually recording the call, so I'll have a look at that later. But folks, have a look.
There is a CSS version.
It's a CSS version of Doom, is it? Right? Okay.
People they have so much time to spare.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
So a couple of months back, I think this work kind of got a little bit derailed with the integration with the collection service. But I did a very quick POC on what would be required to get PyScript.com talk to GitHub and allow users to push things to GitHub. So now that things have been a little bit more quiet, and we decided to start working on features, I picked it up and I have a thing ready, so I can make some changes. Obviously, it's running locally, so I can't really see the app here. But I have created this repository. Some updates, and I'll get to it.
Yeah, we can only see the browser, not anything else that's on the screen.
Oh, okay. I need to share the other one.
Yeah, share the whole screen.
Is the dev tool involved?
No.
So what
I can probably
what
do
are we
this
looking
one.
at?
Ah, okay.
Oh, you'll
Yeah,
see
yeah,
it.
yeah. We can
So
see
I
that.
created a GitHub repository, and there's some pushes here.
Yeah.
And we'll get back to it. So let's say you're working on a thing, and then you save it. There's a new icon on the side. This is, by the way, this is out of my own idea. I haven't reached out to Alex or Katie to double check if they're happy with that, but it's just a POC. So
yeah,
we can click the button, and then it shouldn't take too long to see that there was an update. So let me go back to GitHub.
So I'm assuming if I click on the cog, I can tell you which GitHub repository I need to.
Yeah.
Yay! Awesome.
Yeah. So it's going to be.
Chris also asked for this, right?
Yeah. How do you pull?
Can you pull too? Can you just push or can you pull?
At the moment, just push. I do have a GitHub action that it works as long as you give it a API key for PyScript.com. So I'm thinking to do something either with the GitHub action or have like a two-way sync to GitHub and from GitHub.
Right.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So we have a new tab called GitHub integration, and that's where you specify things. At the moment, your repository cannot be empty, otherwise it doesn't really work. I added a create version, which means that if I go to my versions and I create version 6.
Okay. That's going to be pushed to GitHub.
Obviously. And then will be pushed. And any change that you've done between the last push will get committed again, and then push the changes and the version.
Awesome.
So does the version give you a tag?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you can see 3 tags now.
Yeah, 3 tags. 3 tags.
Yay!
And I have to say automatic.
This is super cool. This is super cool.
Oh man, Fabio, you're a
I've
genius.
been trying as well to chase some performance issues, so hopefully it won't be too bad. But I'm still looking into it. But yeah.
Awesome.
Bravo.
And as a side note, thank you, Andrea, for the bug report. It was a bug, and it got fixed. It's already in dev and should be in prod soon.
Okay, people don't have context.
Downloading files from folders.
Yeah, so if you have a project with folders and you try to click and download that file from that folder, right now it was producing a 404, and also. Actually, I don't know how you fix that because you still have the folder structure and you're downloading the file. How do you preserve the folder structure in there? Through the name or?
Yeah, so the API just takes the path. So we have folder name and file name. The bug was we forgot to pass the path and we're just passing the file name. That's why I'm getting a 404. It was an easy fix, but yeah.
Thanks. That was super quick. I reported this today and it's already fixed. So again,
excellent excellent collaboration there. That's so good to see. Okay, if there's any comments or questions about what we've just seen about GitHub, I think everyone's very impressed. I know that Chris at Tufts has asked for this several times, so have his students. So he'll be. First thing I'm going to do is once this is on YouTube, is I'm going to copy and paste the link to Chris so he can go and have a look at that.
I'm going to create the PR now, so the rest of the team can have a look.
Have a look,
and then
refine it.
Hopefully, it won't take too long to get it up and ready.
Bravo! Really great work, Fabio. Well done. Okay, if there's nothing else, and I don't think there is, please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, well, that was PyScript Fun. That was fun. I'm going to stop the recording now.